ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमतास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमतास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोडकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. We are looking at verse number 72, where the explanation on gross body. We'll read the verse number 72 and 73 also. Machasti beda phalaragnavar charma.
Machasti meda palarakta charma.
Tvagahvayair bire anvidam sorry. Tvagahvayair dadu bire bhiranvitam. Tvagahvaihi dadubihi anvitam. पादोर्वक्षो भुजपृष्ठमस्तकैः मस्तकैः अङ्गैरुपाङ्गैरुपयुक्तमेतत् उपयुक्तमेतत् अहं ममेति प्रतितं शरीरम् मोहास्पदं स्थूलमितीर्यते बुधैः नभो नभस्वद्दहनाम्बुपौमयः दहनाम्बुमभूमयः सूक्ष्माणि भूतानि भवन्ति तानि मज्जास्ति भेद फलरक्तवर्ण चर्म त्वगाह्वयैर्धातुभिरेभिन्वितं पादोर्वक्षो भुजपृष्ठमस्तकैः अङ्गैरुवाङ्गैरुपयुक्तमेतत् अहं ममेदि प्रतितं शरीरं मोहास्पदं स्थूलमितीर्यते बुधैः नभो नभस्वद्दहनाम्बुभूमयः सूक्ष्माणि भूतानि भवन्ति तानि. So it is said, we have seen in the previous class, Majja, Asti, Medaha, Pada, Pala, Rakta, Charma, Tvag, Ahvaihi, known as, these are the various layers. What are those? Majja, that is marrow, Asti, bones, Meda, fat, Pada, flesh, Rakta, blood, Charma, dermis, Twag, that is epidermis. In this way, various parts, Dadubihi Anvidam, there is a mistake there, Dadubin Vidam is written in my book. Dadubihi Anvidam, Anvidam, endowed with. Dadubihi Anvidam, Dadubiran Vidam, it should become there. Then we have Pada, that is leg. Then Pada Uru, Uru is thighs. Then Vaksha, that is chest. Then Bhuja, arms. Prushta, backside. And Mastaka, the head. With that, those things are also constituting the gross body.
Swamiji, there's a request to record on Zoom locally because their YouTube transmission is not very good. Shama has requested.
It's okay. It's working. Earlier in the beginning it was not, but now it's okay. Aham mama iti pratitam shariram. This very body is what is being identified as aham, that is what I am. Mama means mine. And this way pratitam shariram. In this way, this physical body is very well known to be pratitam, that is known, very well known. So this way, body is identified, and therefore it become moha aspadam. Aspadam means abode. Moha aspadam. From aspadam only hospital word came. Some people, for them, aspadam is hospital only. Moha aspadam, mohena aspadam. The very mohaspadam means that where the entire delusion of identification takes place. That is budhaihi iryate, referred by the men of wisdom as sthulam, gross body. Actually, this gross body is a modification from the subtle body, subtle elements. The subtle elements are the 5 elements: Nabaha, space. Nabaswat, interesting, Nabaswat is wind. Because that which is in the Nabas, that which is remaining in space, moving in space, therefore it is called Nabaswat. Nabaswat is the Nabaswat is the very Vayu or the wind itself, Nabaswat. Dahana is obviously the fire. Fire is referred as the Dahana here. Ambu, water. And then Bhumaya. Bhu is the earth. So Bhumayaha. So all of them. Bhumi, Bhumayaha. All this as a compound, it becomes plural. Bhut sukshmani bhutani tani bhavanti. So the sukshma sharira, sukshma means that which is subtle, and the subtle elements only are the cause for the panchabhutas, gross 5 elements. Because creation did not begin with physical things. Creation began with the subtle part of it. the subtle part of the space, that's called Tanmatra. Tanmatra is what is known as Tadmatra, meaning they are on their own without mixing with anything else. That's called Tanmatra. So we have seen in the last class itself, the food that is eaten, Ashidasya Stula Madhyama Sukshmatmana Parinamamanasya Iti Sarvatra Jneyam. What is body? Body is none other than modification of the food that we eat. If you don't eat for a long time, then obviously there will be no body. If what you eat becomes a body. Tejasaha Gritadehe Madhyamo Bhagaha Majja. Tejaso Gritadehe, like ghee, etc., which is referred as Tejas, which is got as the fire in it. So that Madhyamo Bhagaha, so that very fire which is element in the ghee, etc., that becomes the constituents of Majja and the marrow. Tasya Stavishto Bhagaha Asti. The fire element, when you eat anything that has oil, and the Madhyama Bhaga of that oil content, what you eat, constitutes or goes into become the marrow. Stavishto Bhagaha, final one becomes Bhaga Asti. Asti means the bones. Tasya Purva Parinamaha Medaha. The first Parinama is fat. So that's why when you eat anything fried, the gross portion becomes fat. The middle portion becomes marrow. The final portion, the subtle portion, becomes asti, bone. So bone strength is also because of oil. Marrow is also because of oil. And fat is also becomes oil. So you have to be careful when you're eating, because it has to be recognized that it makes three different parts of our body. Then palam mamsam. What is called palam is mamsam, that is nothing but flesh. Ashidasya annasya madhyamo bhagaha. Whenever food that you eat, the madhyama bhaga becomes the flesh. Raktam lohitam pitanam apam madhyamo bhagaha. Similarly, water that you drink, the madhyama bhaga of the water becomes the blood there. Charma stula avaranam. The charma, the outer skin is the stula avaranam, the outermost avarana of the body. Physical body, when you look at a person, the outermost layer which makes a person look younger or wrinkled, etc., it is the outermost layer of the body, that is stula avaranam. Tvag sukshma avaranam. So tvag is skin, charma, and there is a difference between what is called as dermis and epidermis. Dermis is what is inside, epidermis is what is outside there. So that way we will find out here, tvag is the epidermis there. So here that is the sukshma avaranam. No, that is which is inside, the dermis. Tvag is dermis and charma is epidermis. And antaran dhatun nadyadimscha sapta avaranani avrananti. There are seven things which we say: majja, asti, meda, rakta, phala, rakta, charma, and tvag. This way 7. I do not know how Shankaracharya had found out this. He might have consulted some doctors to find out this. How? These things probably he would not know. He is not a medical student, so probably he had some consultant for that. Tatra antar bahir bhavena suksma sula sukshma vibhagaha jneyah. Majja ityadi sesham ahvayah dhatunam taihi saptabhihi dhatubihi anvidam yuktam. Then this is all the 7 aspects of the physical body. Shad angani aha. Then 7 parts of the body. Pada ityadina. Feet, etc. Spashtam. That is very clear. So padaha, padohu, then uru, aksha, bhuja, prishta, mastakaihi, angaihi. Idam hastasya api upalakshanam. So hands are not said. What is not said to be understood to be added there. So then we have the identification with the body very strongly. Aham gacchami, tishtami, langayami, grihnami, ityadi. Vyavaharena ahanta aspadam mama padaha hastaha mastakam shariram idi prastidam prasiddham shariram. This physical body is what we at once identify as soon as we wake up. When we wake up, immediate identification takes place. So that is very well known. This one which we identified is known as Stula Shariram. Aneka vida dosha ashrayatve api. The physical body is constantly undergoing change and causes lot of trouble to us. Either it is healthy, unhealthy, tired, exhausted, pain, all that. Even as we have so many defects in this physical body, adi pramada aspadena, adi prema aspadetstvena mohaspadam atmavat brahmasya ashraya vishaya. Even though physical body is so much of trouble, and also it has pain, etc., old age, everything, but our prema for the body is so strong. Every one of us, at least 25 times we look at in the mirror to see how good I am, why others are not even appreciating this. So all that. So we have so much of strong identification with this. Sulam idi budaihi iryate. But this is considered by the men of wisdom as sthulam. It is completely gross. So, in this way, it is explained that, and also the gross body is none other than a grossification of the Panchabhutas. That is what is said in the third and fourth line of the verse 73. Nabaha nabasvat dahana ambu bhumayah sukshmani bhutani bhavanti tani. Nabascha nabasvamscha dahanascha amba cha bhumischa nabo nabasvat dahanambu bhutayah. Nabaha is what? Gaganam, space. Nabasvan vayuhu, the wind, air. Dahano agnihi, fire. Ambu jalam, bhumihi prithvi. Idam bhuta panchakam jayamanam sukshmam jayate. These are all the subtle elements. Paschad srishtya devataya tasam. So this is, then the explanation is given in many places. Panchikaranam is explained, how it becomes gross. As you see in the Gurudev also puts that in the chart in the next page, page number 108 in my book. So what happens, they go through, see, any two things, if they have to come together, they cannot come together unless they have a common element. Two things cannot come together and mix with each other without the common element. So here, how all the five are coexisting. In our body also. Our body has earth, water, fire, air, space, and how they are coexisting. In the world outside also. If you take a plant or a tree or anything, there is water element, there is fire element, there is air element, there is space element. How is that they are together? That means the elements are able to accommodate other elements. Even though characteristically they are different. But how they become able to come together because they accommodate each other. This ability to accommodate happens in a process that is called Panchikaranam. So here, what happens as a Panchikaranam, that is said in verse number 74. परस्परांशैर्मिलितानि भूत्वा
परस्परांशैर्मिलितानि भूत्वा
स्थूलानि च स्थूलशरीरहेतवः
स्थूलानि च स्थूलशरीरहेतवः
मास्त्रास्तदीया विषया भवन्ति
मात्रास्तदीया विषया भवन्ति
शब्दादयः पञ्चसुखाय भोक्तुः
शब्दादयः पञ्चसुखाय भोक्तुः
परस्परांशैर्मिलितानि भूत्वा स्थूलानि च स्थूलशरीरहेतवः मात्रास्तदीया विषया भवन्ति शब्दादयः पञ्चसुखाय भोक्तुः Paraspara amshaihi militani. That's what I said. Militani, meeting, combining paraspara amshaihi. Their characteristics meeting with each other. Bhutva, having become stulani bhutva. Cha stula sharira hetavaha. They become hetu, cause for the gross body. Now, Swamiji, why do we need to know all these things? Somebody will question, why do we need to do all this? Idea is, as we know in Vedanta, there is no need to explain or know these when it comes to Atma Vichar. To discover the self, you don't need this. But on the way to discovery to the self, we should know the limitation of what we are not. See, what we are so strongly identified and thinking that that is what I am, we have to tell you, the Vedanta needs to tell you, hey, you are identified with this. These are all matter, lifeless. You may think that it is what you are, but you are not this, because these are all inert things. To prove that these are all inert, all the explanation is necessary. Otherwise, Vedanta does not need to explain all these things when you are ready to let go. But we are not ready to let go. We need intellectual conviction. How this I am not? How is this I am not? You know, when I remember when you are young, I don't know whether your parents have done or not. Whenever I fall down, so they won't tell me that you made a mistake. They will hit the floor, The floor made you fall. They will hit the floor. Hey, hit the floor. This is the one we made you fall. So we are happy. So I'm not the problem. That is the problem. So, in the same way, one should understand what you are thinking as you. It has to be told that that is not you. So for that I have to show that which is not you, why it is not you. Because it is inert. It is nothing but elements. I am not the space, I am not the air, I am not the fire, I am not the water, I am not the earth. Why I am not? And how this physical body, which I think so strongly as I am, is none other than the combination of these five. Therefore, you are not this. Until that conviction comes, we will not be able to leave the physical body as I am not this. Therefore, it is necessary. So, stulani, why they say earlier word said, stulam idi iryade bhutaihi. Why it is called gross? Because of this reason. And also, whatever is experienced by this physical body, they are also Vishayas, object. They are also made of the same thing only. For example, if I take Rasagulla in my hand, what is it made of? Ingredients, milk, sugar, water. Do they have life? So they have no life. So these three are combined together to make me feel taste, make the tasty feeling for my tongue. So the experience of this beautiful or what you call tasty sweet Gross is meant only for the gross. It cannot add any more an iota of any wisdom to me. It is merely for satisfying my taste buds. That's all. One should understand that. So that's why I say matras tadiya vishaya bhavanti. Vishayaha, the objects are also made of these five only. Shabdadayaha. Pancha sukhaya bhoktu. It's also for the sake of mere pleasure of these senses which are also made of five. So therefore, what is this panchikarana that is said here in the, paraspara amshaihi militani bhutva stulani cha stula sharira hetu. What is that? That is explained here. Panchanam bhutanam, of the five elements, ekaikam dvida vibhajya. First they divide into two parts. Like Darwin theory of single cellular becoming multicellular. So like now they are single cellular organisms. Then they start dividing. Then they become why? Don't ask me why. That's what happens. Why it is happening? Why are you asking why? That's what happens. And it's like many people have this funny thing, So now they ask this question. Why Krishna supports only Pandavas and not the Kauravas? Why, Swamiji? I said, I can give you an answer. What? Please ask Krishna. I don't know. Because, he should not have killed Karna like that, It's very bad Krishna did that. Is it right? Why are you asking me? I'm not his lawyer. I'm Krishna's lawyer to explain to you I'm defending him. I'm not defending him. Because these are all facts, right? Facts that happened, and you cannot ask me why that fact has happened. Are a fact. Sun is hot. Why? It is hot. Why means what? How I can explain? Scientifically, how it is hot. What happens in the sun, and therefore, how the heat is emitted out of the sun. Why? What do you mean by why? Similarly, single cellular organism, why it divides into many? I don't know. How it happens can be explained by science. So here also, how is explained? Please understand this. How the Panchikarana takes place. Don't ask the question why. If you stop asking why, you become wise. If you keep asking why. That's why they call, this generation is called why? What is it? Generation Y. Not Generation X. Generation Y. Then comes Generation Z. Next one. Because anything you tell, why? That's why it's called Generation Y. Okay. So, Panchanam Bhutanam Ekaikam Dviva Vibhajya Swa Ardha Bhagam Vihaya. Having divided into two parts, each one of them, earth, water, fire, air, space, each one of them having divided themselves into two, one part having left as it is. So that's why it is said here, Dvita Vibhajya Swa Ardha Bhagam Vibhahaya Ardha Bhagam Chadurdha Vibhajya. And the second half dividing itself into four, Itareshu Yojite Panchikaranam Bhavati iti. The second half becoming divided into four parts, those four parts are merging with the rest of the elements, half of them. That's why it is in the chart, it is given like that. That is each one of them going and merging into the other elements half. Meaning what? 1/8 of each one of them is available in all others. That means space has got 1/8 of fire, water, air and earth. So each one of them have got 1/8 of other elements. Half of its own. In other words, half of its own characteristics, 1/8 of other characteristics. The space has got ability to accommodate other earth, fire, water, air, and earth. That is the reason why there is no clash. So that's why, when in India, when the marriage takes place, it is not two people are marrying, two families are marrying. Right? Two families are marrying. That means the husband or the bride and bridegroom, they are only getting married. But actually, the bride brings along with her sibling. Her siblings are also part of the family. Her parents are also part of the family. Her uncles also part of this family. So that's why they called it's called father-in-law, mother-in-law. Meaning what? My mother is there, but in addition, I have one more mother there. My father is there. In addition, I have one more father there. I have brother. I have, in addition, one more brother there. I have a sister. In addition, I have another sister there. What is that? That's called Panchikaranam. So adding that family also into that. So their problem is also my problem then. Unfortunately. So one lady was asked, when your son makes a mistake, you are able to forgive him so easily. But when your husband makes a mistake, you are not able to forgive him so easily. Why? He's from the other family. So I am not able to forgive him that easily. Son is my family. That is an extended family. So anyway, but space has got other 4 aspects of it, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 of all of them. In the same way, all others. This is called Panchikaranam. Evam paraspara amshaihi militani sambadhani bhutva stulani gaganadi shabda vyavahara arhani stula sharira hetavascha bhavanti iti yojana. Thus, this way, paraspara amshaihi militani, having combined with the qualities of all others, stulani, these gross ones, gaganadi shabdas vyavahara arhani. So that way, the qualities of the each elements, for example, space has got sound, air has got the movement or the touch, fire has got the sight, and water has got the taste, the earth has got the smell, are also included in all of them. So that's why it becomes available for to comprehend all of them. That becomes the cause of the stula shariram. Stula sharira hetavascha bhavanti. Now, having explained that, Bhuta prasangat tadharmaha shabdadin vishayan tatra vairagya utpatyartam nirupayati. Now he, in the second part of the same verse, in the verse number 74, that it is given that even the Vishayas are made out of the same 5 elements. Matraha tadiyaha vishayaha bhavanti shabdadaya pancha sukaya bhoktu. Bhoktuhu suhaya. Bhoktuhu sukaya means for the pleasure of the one who is experiencing it. Now what is matra? Matra means vishayaha. So in Gita also it is given, this beautiful word comes, matra sparshastu konteya shidoshna sukha dukkadaha agama apayino nityaha tanti dikshasva bharata. Matra means what? Miyante vishayi kriyante bhujyante iti va matraha. So the matra word has got 3 meanings. One is called miyante, to measure. Then vishayi kriyante, objectification. Bhujyante, to experience. So that is why it is considered tadiyaha akashadi bhuta sambandinyaha Shabdadayah Kramena Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandaha Panchavishayaha. Now, these are all any element you take, it is made of any one of the 5 elements or the combination of that. Now, you see, no object can be experienced unless one of our senses are in contact with it. Right? If I'm seeing something, if I'm seeing a flower or seeing a tree, my eyes are in contact with the object. Contact does not mean go and touch it. So, for example, if eyes are seeing a tree there, what is the eyes are doing actually? Actually, they are measuring it. There is not what is the height, what is the depth, what is the color. It is eyes are calculating it basically. So that is why miyante, measuring. Now, after having then vishayi karoti, meaning it becomes an object of thought. Then that object of becomes what? Object of thought becomes an experience. Right? If you are hearing a sound, first thing the ear does it, where is it coming from? Right? It is trying to understand where the source is or how distant is the sound coming from. So it is actually calculating the source of it or trying to understand the very distance between the ear and its where it is from. Even when you are looking at an object, the eyes are actually understanding the distance. If I am looking at the chair, isn't not the eyes adjust to itself and look? You try a camera without auto adjustment, what does it do? Blur. Why? Because it is not, it is just an instrument. It does not have the ability to, unless you say auto. Then what it does, you may closely watch, it goes back and forth and then it distances. Yes. Eyes naturally does that very quickly. When I am looking at you and then looking at here, you imagine the speed in which it has to adjust. We take it for granted. I'm looking at you and then I'm looking at something far away, let us say at least so some 1,000 feet away, let us say. Immediately the eyes have to adjust itself to look at that point. So that is called measuring ability. So that's why me and they means that is capable of calculating so quickly. Even similarly, the ears. What is the ear? I think I'm hearing it is too far away. It's not near me. It's far away. I know it. Taste, you take it. Think about it. When you taste, how much of information you are gathering from the past memories. Immediately, I had this taste before. Somewhere. Smell also. This smells like. How are you knowing that? So, me and they. Then what it does, it becomes a thought object. Objectification. Immediately becomes an object of perception. Then, anubhava. Bhujyante. Experiences it. That's why it's called matraha. And it says vishayai. Vishaya means what? See, the very word vishaya also is important. Vishaya word comes from this root word, Sanskrit word, si. Si means sinoti, sinote. Sinito means binding. Binding. So what is the nature of Vishaya, object? The nature of object is it makes you bind. Meaning, you want to experience it. It attracts your attention and holds you. So that is why Vishayena, Visheshena Sinvanti iti Vishayaha. Sinjatoho vipurvakat bandhana karmanaha. That's why Shankaracharya says Vishayan Visham ivatyaja. Vishayan Visham ivatyaja. Don't take the Vishayas very easily. They are capable of binding you. Therefore, leave it like a poison, he says. The moment you have attention to something, that starts attracting your entire personality just grabs you in. That's why when people go for window shopping, you know what happens afterwards. Window shopping. Windows don't shop. You go there. I just go for window shopping. Okay. Then you come home. All that you have window shopped comes to your mind. That thing, iPhone 13 or 14, no? 14 is 13. 14 is yet to come. So that, I think it's a very nice feature, It has 4 cameras. How does it matter? 4 cameras are there. So I think I need that 4 camera. From all angles, it takes a better picture of things. Then what do you do? Then I put it in my Instagram. Then put how many people liked it. So what happens is, when you do window shopping, it becomes that object of attraction and binds you there. So that's why it is said that bandhana karmanaha Vishaya Shabdasya Nishpattehe. So, Matrastadiya Vishaya Bhavanti Shabdadaya Panja Sukhaya Bhoktuhu. It becomes a object of pleasure. Bhoktuhu samsarinaha jivasya sukhaya sukha abhasaya bhavanti. So, therefore, these objects are also which are subject to be experienced, measured, and also object of our thought. They are meant for jivasya sukhaya, for the sake of the jiva's enjoyment, the objects which are also made up of 5 elements. So these are all gross body. So this way it is explained. So now, who is the person? It is said to be one who has caught up in this. That is said in verse number 75. Yaeshu mooda vishayeshu baddhaha
ययेषु मूढा विषयेषु बद्धाः
rago rupashena sudurdamena
आगोरुपाशेन सुदुर्दमेन
rago ago rago
You said
ayanti niryantyadaya urdhvamuchaihi
आयान्ति निर्यान्त्यध ऊर्ध्वमुच्चैः
swakarma dutena javena nitaha
स्वकर्मधूतेन जवेन नीताः
ययेषु मूढा विषयेषु बद्धाः रागोरुपाशेन सुदुर्दमेन आयान्ति निर्यान्त्यद ऊर्ध्वमुच्चैः स्वकर्मदूतेन जवेन नीताः. So here, Yaha, he who, ye, not Yaha, ye, these people, those people who are, Yeshu Moodaha, Vishayeshu, Yeshu, Baddaha Moodaha. In this Vishayeshu objects, in the objects, Baddaha, bound. And therefore, Moodaha, they are fully deluded. How they are baddhaha? Raga uru pashena. Ragoru pashena. Raga is, one meaning of raga is attachment. Another meaning of raga is a rope. So, therefore, by the strong ropes, uru, pashena, by the wrong ropes that are very well grown up, strong. Raga is itself is a pasha. Ragoru pashena sudurdamena, very well bound. Durdama, dama is to cut. Durdama means difficult to cut. Dam. Dam is to break actually. Damati. So Sudurdamena, that, and Ayanti Niryanti. They go coming and going, and Urdvam Uchaihi, and going up and down, up and down, up and down. See, where do you use a rope? When you use a rope for, especially when in a well, there's something, put a bucket inside and then pick up the water. So use the rope for going down, going up, going down, or even climbing anything. In the same way, in our life, when we are so attached to the objects, we keep going and coming, going and coming. The life, birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. And swakarma dutena, by one's own actions, as the very envoy, javena nitaha, and they become forcefully or continuously being nita, being led, continuously being led by the actions conducted by them for the sake of experiencing the world of objects in which they are attached to. They are called Mudaha, Vivekachoodamani. That is written. Mudaha, Eshu Vishayeshu Shabdashu Panjasu, Sudurdamena Sushtu Dukkena Damayitum Shakyena. Difficult to bring it under control. Durnirasena, Raga Urupashena, Uruhu Dridaha, Pashaha Bandaheduhu, Rajvadihi. Like the rope. Raga Eva Urupashaha. The attachment itself is the strong, well-grown or well-tightened rope. Tatra asikta rupena dridapashena baddhaha. That way, in this way, attachment itself is the great bondage there. Stambeshu pashvadayah iva. When, in the villages when you go, all the cows are tied to the post and they cannot move further. Even if they go further, what happens? After some time, it will be tightened, the rope is tightened, then they cannot go back. They may go beyond that. Similarly, people in this world, Swamiji, we are alone, we want pet. This is called creating new bondages. So, now after so many years, 20 years, Swamiji, now the children are gone to the university. Now we are free. What is called that? Empty nester. Why do they call it empty nesters? It's a kind of marketing. You don't know that, the word empty nesters. So the empty nester, what they should do? Fill it up with what? Pets. Why don't they say free nesters? Empty, so you are all empty nesters. So what do? Understand, now you're free. 20 years of working for the children, this and that, now they are gone, finished. It is said that when do you take Vanaprasthashram? You know that? Vanaprasthashram you take as soon as you see the face of your first grandson or granddaughter. As soon as you see the child is born, your son's son or daughter's daughter, whatever it is. I have seen my face of my grandson, granddaughter. Now it's a time for my Vanaprastha. नहीं करता है, नहीं करता है.
What does that mean?
Vanaprastha means third stage of life, meaning you have nothing more to do with the family. No, who will take care of my grandson? Who will take care of my grand? This is called that Baddha. Strong rope. If it is not there, dog, cat, parrot, rabbit. Kya karun? So this way, everybody is caught up in this. As I say, is written given as Stambeshu Pashvadayah iva. Like that of the post, how the cows, etc. are bound. Tatra atyanta kama vishishtaha. It's filled with so much of notion of happiness causing desires. Yata stambabaddaha pasavaha stambam vihaya gantum na parayante. Like that of the cows which are tied up into the post, cannot move away from it. Right? In the same way, evam vishayaraginaha vishayan taktum na shaknuvanti. Those who are caught up in them are so bound by the objects, cannot leave. So difficult. And that's why some people, very interesting. I saw in the airport once, one lady was carrying her pillow cover. You may not even, I think you may think that I'm exaggerating. This lady was coming with me for a yatra. She was carrying her pillow cover. I asked why. Somebody, the smell alone makes me go to sleep. So wherever hotel she goes, she removes the pillow cover from there. She puts that pillow cover. Because that smell, without the smell, she can't go to sleep. So what to do? So people are caught up in their own world of attachments. Just like the cow cannot come out of beyond the post in which it is tied, this way people are also so caught up in their own attachment to the objects. Vishayaraginaha vishayan taktum na shaknuvanti iti tatra eva ashayaha shreyo margat brashyante. Therefore, they are completely deviating from the absolute final goal of liberation. Ityaha ayanti niryanti ada urtu muchaihi swakarma dutena javena nitaha swesham karma dharma adharma rupam tadeva urdva adogamana hedutvat dutam vat vartate. One's own action becomes the agent for coming and going, birth, rebirth, death, and then again rebirth, birth, and then rebirth, and death, and all this continuously going on. Yata nyayasthanadau kaschid dhutaha vicharyan urdvam adascha nayativat tatrapi shabdhadikam sukam janayati iti buddhya tat sampattaye punyarjanam karoti. Punya arjanam karoti tada divya shabdadikam anubavitam tadiyam pushpam punyam karma tamuchaihi urdvam nayati swargadikam prapayati tatrabi shine punye adaga agamanam asti eva adharma punaha kim vaktavyam sarvada adogamanam eva yadi. So many of the people who are believers of the rituals that may probably give them punya, they continue to perform punya, and then that's why urdhvam gachanti, they go to swargadi loka. And then punya kshaye adho gachanti, come down. And if they do papa, further adho gachanti. So that is why it is said urdhvam uchaihi, going up and down, up and down. Ayandi janmantara krita sukrita vashat manushyadikam sampadayanti. Otherwise, from the animal stage, they probably become a human also. Punaha rago ado niryanti. Again, because of the raga, they go down. So, this way, one is continuously caught up in this world of objects. Shabdadina madhye ekekam sevamanasyabi mrityuhu bandha drishtaha kim punaha panchabi kamayamanasyabi sadrishtantamaha heyatva siddhaye. So in the next verse he is saying even the animals who have one attachment, they find the death in that itself. And that will be said in the next class. An animal who is attached to only one sense organs, it will die because of that. Human beings, all the sense organs are equally powerful. Their death is in every moment. So what are those will be taken in the next class. That is verse number 76. Very famous verse. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Any questions? Anybody?